we're going to focus on taking your fitness to the next level.
Getting to and staying at a healthy weight requires both regular physical activity and a healthy eating plan.
And that's the key, is to just keep moving.
Welcome to Next Level Health, brought to you by It Is Written. I'm John Bradshaw. Thank you so much for joining me. So far, we've looked at boosting your immunity, improving your mental health, increasing your energy. We've looked at nutrients you need to know. And now we're going to share with you how you can be fitter for life by improving your physical fitness. You know, physical fitness doesn't only have to be about long runs or grueling sessions in the gym. It can be that, but people are different. And one person's situation isn't necessarily another person's situation. If you're out of shape, just the idea of getting in shape can be discouraging. Sometimes it can seem impossible. Well, as we're talking about improving physical fitness, we're going to focus on taking your fitness to the next level. Katie Castillo is going to look at choosing a fitness program that works. Eric Flickinger is investigating the benefits of an active lifestyle, while Cassidy Conley is going to be finding out how much exercise people are actually getting. I'm looking forward to talking to Dr. Peter Lingus, who'll point us in the right direction when it comes to fitness and general health. There are some simple things you can do to preserve your health. And as you do them, you're investing in your future. We want to keep in mind that good health is God's gift, and it was God's idea in the first place. So let's begin by catching up with Katie, who's finding out that you don't have to travel far if you want to take your health to the next level.
This is great, but I can't afford one of these. Many people find it difficult to go to a gym due to the lack of time, money, or there's just no gym convenient to them. That leaves working out from home. But can you really get a great workout from home? Today, I am joined by Mike Boyd, who is a fitness professor. Thank you so much for being here.
Glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Can people get fit and stay active without having to go to a gym?
You can actually stay fit, maintain fitness, and improve fitness from home. To work out, to exercise, to keep moving. And that's the key, is to just keep moving.
Well, what are some things people can do, home or around their neighborhood?
All kinds of things. Simply walking is one of the best things you can possibly do for yourself. God made us to move. We were made to move. And too often, we are sitting on some of the best muscle we have in our body. And so all we have to do is get up, walk around the house, walk around the block, walk back and forth in our yard. I had a student when the pandemic first began that had to go home, and all he had in his backyard was nothing more than the size of the room we're in. He ran back and forth, and he did a 5K in his backyard that way.
Wow.
So it's definitely possible to keep moving with whatever resources you have.
Yeah, for sure. What are some things, can you show me some workouts, some easy workouts, let's go with that people can do from home?
Absolutely. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, Katie, so first off, let's talk a little bit. You've probably heard people have these things called arm days and leg days and all of that kind of stuff. We should be really focusing on total body every day. And a great place to start is with your legs and your lower body. We'll start there and then we'll work our way up.
Okay.
Chairs are all over our house. You can find a chair pretty much anywhere, but it's really a great exercise. We use this quite often for the wrong reasons. So just sitting down and standing back up and repeating that motion just like this is actually a really great leg workout. Have a try. Just kind of sit down. Just sit down and stand back up. Completely controlled. Excellent. Weight it and sit and stand back up. Good.
Oh, wow.
Good. Do it again. Excellent. Now, for people that may need a little more stability and maybe their leg strength isn't quite there, you can go around behind the chair, put your hands on the back of the chair like that, and kind of do the same motion. So, yep, feet about shoulder width apart, go down, and then press it back up. Excellent. Just like you were going to sit in a chair behind it, but you're holding on for stability. That's perfect. Another exercise you can do with the chair is just go up on your toes. Do a little toe press, working different muscles in our legs. The slower you do these exercises, the better, because then you're working against gravity both directions. You're working a lot more muscle than you think.
Oh, wow. I feel it.
You're doing great. So then we would move to a little bit of a core exercise. Let's go over here to the table and just put your hands on the table and kind of lean into it. Yeah, there you go. You can make it easier if you want to stand up a little more and press it down. Good. But what I want you to focus on is locking up your core right here so you can feel it. Now go ahead down into a push-up. Good. Very good. Now you can stand back up. If you need to make that even easier, the mirror kind of makes this interesting, but you can put your hands here and do a push-up on a wall. Make it even easier, yeah. If you want to make it a little more difficult, you can go to a chair and do it off of the chair.
Would I need to work out every day, or for how long if I decide to stay home and do my workouts there?
And minimum numbers are about 5 days a week. You want to be actively moving, intentionally moving. You want to approximately get in about 150 minutes, 2.5 hours. But you got to realize these are all minimum numbers. You want to move really as much as possible, 7 days a week.
Well, what would you say to people that say, oh, I have a very busy schedule, I don't have time to do that?
Time is the greatest reason we can use to stay sitting down. And it's really not a very good one, because you can accumulate your activity throughout your day. 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there. If you can just take a little bit here, a little bit there, and keep moving throughout your day, you'll see the benefits.
Wow, well, thank you so much for sharing that. That really helps. I always had in my mind that it was, okay, 30-minute workout, but I can do it throughout the day, and I think that's great.
Yeah, obviously the workouts are ideal, but if you can't, get up and move. 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there.
So keep moving.
Just keep moving.
Thanks for that, Katie. Now, my question is, are you inspired after that?
I am.
Yeah?
I know it's very easy to find excuses to not work out, but Mike Boyd helped me realize that I can just go for a walk or do simple workouts from home and stay active.
Yeah, and it can really impact your life. Just the simple things matter, don't they?
They do.
Hey, thanks so much. It's really good. Cassidy Conley has been asking everyday people for honest answers about how much exercise people are actually getting. Here's what she found out.
Do you think that exercise is important?
I do. I think it's very important.
Do you exercise yourself?
Yes.
Why do you feel like it's important to exercise?
Well, it just helps me feel like I actually did something in the day. It helps me feel stronger and sleep better at night.
Very important. I do it 4 or more times a week.
Yeah, no, I actually do. I just haven't made time for it.
Never.
I exercise every day in the evening after work. Either lift or do cardio.
Honestly, it helps me with my stress level throughout the week. That's why I like to do it.
Exercise, it does a lot of stuff for your emotional health, and it getting your heart rate up is good for your heart, and that does boost your immunity. It's just very good in moving your muscles, keeping them toned, things like that.
As far as concentrated exercise on the side, I normally try to do fun stuff.
Well, I don't exercise for my immunity. I just exercise because that's the way I live. You know what I mean?
It just really helps me with stress, helps me feel good.
Exercise? No, I don't exercise. I stand all day because I work all day, but I don't exercise.
I teach my kids that exercise is important, and we exercise as a family.
I think it's important due to the fact that it's your body at the end of the day. And if you're not willing to take care of it, do things to kind of keep you around for a longer time or just to sustain that longevity, then at the end of the day, you won't be here.
I think exercise is really important for both the health of the body and then also the health of the mind, because I feel like it decreases a lot of stress.
Time to welcome Eric Flickinger to Next Level Health. Eric, thanks for being here.
Good to be here, John.
We're talking about exercise, the benefits of an active lifestyle. One would think many of us would know that to exercise is better than not to exercise, but you're going to tell us just what it does, what an active lifestyle actually figures out in your life. So take it away. We're looking forward to hearing it.
That's right. Regular physical activity is one of the most important things that you can do for your health. Regardless of your age, abilities, ethnicity, shape, or size, everyone can experience the health benefits of physical activity. So what are some of the benefits of an active lifestyle? Today we'll go through 5 benefits of an active lifestyle. Number 1, exercise controls weight. Your diet and physical activity play a critical role in maintaining a healthy body weight, losing excess pounds, and maintaining successful weight loss. For those who are seeking to lose excess weight, it's important to realize that weight loss happens when you burn more calories than you consume. And one of the best ways to burn calories is through regular physical activity. Getting to and staying at a healthy weight requires both regular physical activity and a healthy eating plan. Number 2, exercise combats health conditions and diseases. If you get regular physical activity, studies have shown that your likelihood of getting some of the major diseases or suffering from some of the major health concerns goes down, some dramatically. Exercise has been shown to decrease incidence of stroke, metabolic syndrome, high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, depression, anxiety, many types of cancer, arthritis, and even falls. Number 3, exercise improves your mood. If you need an emotional lift after a stressful day, a session at the gym or a brisk walk may help. Exercise stimulates various brain chemicals that make you feel happier, more relaxed, and less anxious. Exercise also boosts your energy. Regular physical activity gives you more energy to do your day-to-day activities. It improves your muscle strength and boosts your endurance. Exercise delivers oxygen and nutrients to your tissues and helps your cardiovascular system to work more efficiently. And as your heart and lungs work better, you have more energy to take care of your daily chores. Exercise also promotes better sleep. If you have difficulty falling asleep at night, you may benefit from getting more exercise. When you make your body work during the day, it is ready to rest and refresh itself at bedtime. Just don't exercise too close to bedtime or you may be too energized to fall asleep. There are few lifestyle choices that have as large an impact on your health as physical activity. Spread your activities throughout the week and set goals for yourself. You'll start to see the results.
Hey, fantastic. You know, earlier, a few moments ago, Katie showed that exercise doesn't have to be too terribly complex. Opportunities to exercise are everywhere. Hey, quickly, what are some exercise options people have? You mentioned a brisk walk.
A brisk walk, you can go for a swim.
Yep.
Working in the garden, even doing housework can get you some exercise.
Sure, riding a bike, you can run if you feel so inclined.
That's right.
Tons of options, and they're all good. Make sure you get after something. It'll bless and benefit your life. In just a moment, I'll be speaking with physical therapist Dr. Peter Lingus. More really practical advice that's going to help you take your health to the next level. We'll be right back.
More and more people are watching It Is Written TV. They're watching their favorite It Is Written programs, listening to inspiring sermon series, and much more. They're watching them here, and even here. See for yourself why people are turning to It Is Written TV to watch their favorite Christian programs live and on demand. Watch It Is Written TV for free anytime on Roku, Apple TV, and at itiswritten.tv.
Welcome back to Next Level Health. I am really glad to be joined now by Dr. Peter Lingus, who is a physical therapist who specializes in sports physical therapy and orthopedics. He's based in San Bernardino, California. Dr. Lingus, thanks for joining me. Welcome to Next Level Health.
Hi, John. Thank you so much for having me. Excited to share the knowledge that I have.
Yeah, so let's dive in here and talk about exercise. Why is exercise so important?
Well, you know, exercise has so many levels of greatness for our bodies. Our bodies are made to move. And, I tell my patients all the time, motion is lotion. And so exercise can be helpful to your physical health, your mental health, and your spiritual health.
Hey, so why is that? Why we get it. You exercise and yet your heart works better. But what about your mental health and your spiritual health? Why in the world would it impact that?
Sure. So speaking of mental health, there's so many studies that talk about how exercise can actually positively affect your depression levels. It can also affect your mood. And I think spiritually as well, it can help you focus mentally and therefore focus on certain things such as the spiritual life, but also helps with discipline and consistency. You know, our brain needs consistency. If we're able to provide that, we're able to actually improve the way we think, the way we process information, and make better decisions throughout the day.
Hey, so why do you think it is that so many people have a hard time exercising?
Yeah, so as humans, I think we just don't like change. And so if you grew up, let's say, not really moving, not really exercising, you know, it's hard to start a new habit. And that's a big thing is about habit formation. And so I think people have a hard time, number one, because maybe they never really grew up with exercising, you know, in their habits. And so as you first start with any kind of skill, you have to find that first motivation. And so I think people forget about sometimes why exercise is important. And so I would encourage people, you know, you already know logically that exercise is important. So latch on to something that is going to be motivating for you. For example, if you're an older person, you have grandchildren, maybe you want to exercise because you want to be around to play with them, run around. And so I think finding that motivation will be helpful to get you started. And then consistency is key. So people, I think, try to exercise by themselves. And so finding accountability partners, finding a community of people that can help you will definitely continue to start you on that process and to build that discipline for exercise.
Okay, now help us understand what are the changes that actually begin to occur in the body when a person takes on exercise?
Absolutely. So when you start to exercise, the first 2 weeks is probably the worst part because number one, your body is slowly changing, your muscles are adapting, you're challenging in a gradual, stressful, but also safe way for your body. And so your muscles start to absorb more oxygen, they start to grow, and they start to be able to handle the impact and the stress of your exercise. But it also brings oxygen to your brain as well. So it helps you make better decisions. And also, like I said, builds that habits and habit formation.
So how long till you start to see changes?
Yeah, so for the first 2 weeks, like I said, was probably the hardest part. But within 1 month, within 4 weeks, you'll start to see changes in your body. You'll start to notice that things start to become a little bit easier. Let's say you started walking and or maybe just doing some squatting. You know, you'll start to notice that things become a lot easier. Your heart rate isn't getting elevated too high or as high. So things start to feel better overall.
So why do people get injured when they start to exercise? What's going on there? It's not that everybody does, but you know, you can pick up an injury when you dive back into it. Well, what's the cause of all of that?
Yeah, you know, there's a statistics. 70% of runners get injured in their lifetime. And that's a huge chunk of people. And so the number one reason why people get injured is because they don't gradually get into their exercise program. They think, okay, maybe I can run 1 mile, even though I haven't really ran in a long time. So the number one reason is the gradual adaptation to the exercise is too high. So you're jumping into an exercise too fast, too soon. So I would definitely recommend, you know, if let's say you haven't exercised in a long time, just start 5 minutes and slowly, incrementally build that tolerance up. And so that's the number one reason, overuse and too fast, too soon.
Okay, so you're recognizing or you're recommending easing in. Any other tips for people who want to get into this thing safely and don't want to overdo it and hurt themselves?
Absolutely. So the number one advice, of course, would go see your doctor, your physical therapist, you know, to create an individualized program because each person moves a little bit differently. Let's say just from the habits of your life, you've developed imbalances in your muscles. And so you want to get evaluated first. After the evaluation, they'll give you some prescriptions on what to do. And number one thing is most of the time our muscles are weak. Or there are certain parts of our bodies that are weak. For example, our core muscles, right? Or our glute muscles or butt muscles. So strengthening those muscles are going to be important. And lastly, be mindful of your mechanics, the way you're walking, the way you're squatting. So your biomechanics is a big factor on why you get injured as well.
I'm going to pick up on something that you just mentioned. And I heard this from a physical therapist not long ago. you mentioned strengthening your glutes. There are lots of people right now who are saying, what does my rear have to do with my ability to exercise? So tell me about that.
Sure. Yeah, that's a very common question, and I love answering it because it's such an important aspect of our body. So our glute muscles, the buttock muscles behind us here, not only do they help you with low back pain, they actually help you with hip pain, knee pain, foot pain, anything down the chain. The reason why that's important is because it's actually the engine for our legs. So for example, if we have three engines in our body, we have our hip engine, knee engine, and our ankle engine. If we don't use our hip engine, which is the main driver, we tend to overuse our knees and our ankles and even low back. So the reason why it's important is because it's such a powerful muscle that adds support, adds shock absorption, and propulsion in our movement patterns.
And somebody is wondering right now, how in the world, we understand you do some curls, your biceps are going to look better. How do you help that part of your anatomy?
Sure, yeah. So there's different techniques, of course, but the first step is, even as I'm standing here, is literally trying to flex your bottom. And just from the act of doing that and just being mindful of which muscles need to work is already a great start. So literally just flexing them and engaging them will be the first part. We also recommend exercise bands around your knees, lifting your legs to the side, lifting your legs to the back, and doing some side steps with the bands. All those exercises will be helpful to activate those muscles back there.
If somebody does get injured exercising, they dive in, they go for a run, a ride, a walk, whatever it might be, and they have more than just an ache, they think they've done something. What should they do?
Sure, of course. Well, the first step is seek medical advice. So go to your doctor, go to a physical therapist, get diagnosed on what the problem is. And secondarily, the brain is very important. So understand that the pain that you have is not the end of the world. And because the more you feel like the pain is the end of the world, the worse it gets. So understand that you'll get through this, get some advice. Your body will heal, it knows what to do, and it's actually going to be okay down the road. But just find that proper plan of care.
You mentioned a couple of moments ago getting onto a plan, maybe even a personalized plan. What does a sample exercise plan look like?
Include a flexibility routine. You're stretching for 1 minute holds, maybe 5 exercises. It'll include strength training, squatting, building up your core and glute muscles, and also includes mechanics training and cardiovascular training as well. So other than stretching, you also want to strengthen, and you also want to move around, do your exercise.
Who should do this? Who should dive into an exercise program?
Everyone should, absolutely. I mean, again, we talked about the benefits it has to your physical development, to your mental development, your spiritual health as well. So everyone should dive into it. And number one thing is finding an activity that you actually enjoy doing, whether that be running, pickleball, basketball, swimming. Just pick something that you enjoy and go with it. Start gradually, build up, and stay consistent.
So what are we hearing from the research? One last question. What's the research telling us about exercise and maybe as it relates to lifespan or overall health? What can you share?
There's many of those longitudinal studies that talk about, one was if you're able to sit on the ground and stand up, I don't know if you've seen this, stand up, your life expectancy actually expands, which is amazing.
Sure, seen that.
There's also studies that talk about your quad strength. If you actually have a certain level of quad strength, your fall risk actually reduces by quite a bit. So it all comes down to strength. It all comes down to how much activity you're doing. And so again, pick something that you enjoy. All these things will help you with your brain, your decision making. It'll help you with your heart, keep you healthy for a long time. It'll help your joints by strengthening and supporting it. Instead of relying on your passive structures, you want to rely on your active support system. So there's so many great benefits on just being healthy, improving your fitness levels.
Dr. Lingus, awesome. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for joining me.
No problem, John. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. Dr. Peter Lingus, who is in a private physical therapy practice in San Bernardino, California. And let me suggest something to you. I am hopeful you will run over to nextlevelhealth.life, click on the resources tab, and get this. This is study number 4 from our Creation Life Study Guide series, Activity. Great stuff in here. This will motivate you, inform you. It will bless you all the way around. Nextlevelhealth.life. Click on the resources tab, and this will be waiting there for you. Next Level Health is encouraging people all around the world to take their health to the next level and to know the God who gives the gift of good health. To make it possible for It Is Written to produce more resources like this, sharing hope and life with the world, please call 844-974-8836. That's 844-WRITTEN, or go to nextlevelhealth.life and click Donate. Your support will make a world of difference to so many people. Call 844-WRITTEN or visit nextlevelhealth.life. Years ago, I was invited to ride in a big 100-mile bike event. So I got my bike out, went on my first training ride. It was 4 miles one way, 8 miles there and back. Halfway there, I knew I was in trouble. I about died. The next day, I was so sore that I thought I'd never be able to ride again. But a strange thing happened. It got easier. Before long, I was doing 40-mile training rides and absolutely loving it. I rode the 100 miles without too much trouble at all. And that's kind of how exercise goes. That first run, first swim, first workout, it can feel as though your world is going to end, but really it's just your body complaining that you haven't been using it enough. Once you get moving, everything's better. You wonder why you didn't do it sooner. It's good to get moving, and the same is true for your spiritual life. Matthew 20:28 says, "The Son of Man came not to be ministered unto, but to minister, and to give his life a ransom for many." Jesus came to the world to serve. He healed people, lifted people up, offered them hope. Something remarkable happens in your life when you look for opportunities to serve others, especially with a view to lifting them up spiritually. You can be a missionary at home. Just like Katie showed us, we can exercise without having to go too far. Is there someone in your sphere of influence that you can encourage, reach out to, pray with, share a book or a study with? Simply help. Imagine how different the church would be if we were preoccupied with serving others. The world would be convinced there was something special about people of faith because those believers in Jesus were always living in a way that lifted Jesus up and reflected well on faith. In Luke 10, verse 2, we read, "Then he said to them, 'The harvest truly is great, but the laborers are few. Therefore, pray the Lord of the harvest to send out laborers into his harvest.'" God wants people who know him to share him with others. Now, someone's thinking, "But I don't know enough to share with others." You know, when Jesus cast demons out of a man, that man wanted to tag along with Jesus from then on. You can understand why. But the Bible says that Jesus sent him away, saying, "Return to your own house and tell what great things God has done for you." Moments after he'd been demon-possessed, he was a missionary. I don't know if he understood deep theological concepts, but I know he understood what God had done for him, and he shared that. You can share what God has done for you. Ask God to point out who that person is, to give you opportunities to speak up for him, opportunities to exercise your faith in him, and watch yourself become fitter for eternal life. On behalf of our team, thank you for joining us. Next time, we'll talk about enjoying healthier relationships. Our experts will share great stuff, and you'll hear from people who know a thing or two about healthy relationships as they share their wisdom with you. It could change your life forever. This has been Next Level Health, brought to you by It Is Written.